We are the a very, very special opportunity for St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church. We got a call about a month ago, hey Mom, we had a cancellation. You think we can sing there again? And we're like, yes. So I want to take a moment to thank some of our board members that Houston Aggie moms who stood up and said, we'll help underwrite this special night. Thank you all, and thank you also for some of the parents for our Aggie moms that came forward to help underwrite this special evening. And also a very special thank you to all of our host home people. It's really a great experience if it ever comes your way that you can host. They go in pairs and they make up their bed and they pick up the towels for the senior cadets. And so it's a really great opportunity if it ever comes your way to take that moment and just open your home for a few hours for them to stay at your house. They really, really enjoy it. I also want to thank you, Pastor Jeff Smith, who is also a former senior cadet. And when Clayton called, I said, we'll call Pastor Jeff. And Pastor Jeff said, of course, you all can come sing. So I think that speaks multitudes about our pastor, that a kid that grew up, we lived overseas off and on, but he felt comfortable enough to call his pastor and say, hey, can we come do this? And I think that's really awesome. And anyway, I love Pastor Jeff, appreciate him. And I appreciate James Roberts is up there in the soundboard, who has worked with Isaac. And I don't even know what all they do, but I know there's a lot of details that none of us even know that is happening to make this work in here, as well as live stream over the internet. So I really appreciate that. And Joanne for working with Channel 13 to get us parking. It's just an awesome opportunity for us and Houston Aggie moms to be able to share with you. There is a 12-man mini auction if you want to bid on some items. We had a few things that came in late for our auction in February. So there's a few things if you want to take a look in the Warren Family Center, which is back here, and we'll have some little cups of water and some cookies at Intermission if you want to partake. So you can take a quick look. There's some great family or individual packages from Michael Martinez, who's a great photographer. So anyway, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Pitt, for being here, and thank you all for coming out this evening.
Got it? Let me introduce you to Caroline Cordova, President of the
President of the Women's Chorus. I just wanted to come up here and say thank you for having us here, and we're really excited to be here. And I hope you enjoy the show. And I'm just going to go ahead and introduce a few of my officer line. First, I'm going to introduce Miss Sarah Wharton, who is a sophomore business management major from Austin, Texas. Next is Miss Caitlin Hullett, who is a sophomore horticulture major from Midlothian, Texas, who is also our performance manager. And Sarah is also our treasurer. I forgot to mention that. Next, we have Miss Madeline Lewis, who is our PR manager, and she is the sophomore environmental science major from Houston, Texas. And last but not least is Miss Presley Morris, who is our fundraising manager, and she is a sophomore biomedical science major from Fort Worth, Texas. Again, thank you all for coming out tonight, and we hope you enjoy. And here's Mr. Kip, who is our lovely director.
Howdy. Howdy. It is indeed our pleasure to be here with you this evening. This is a historic event that we have both the Texas A&M Women's Chorus and the Texas A&M Sing Cadets in one location. And so we're so glad to be here with you this evening. Y'all are in for a treat, and we even have some surprises the Sing Cadets don't know about. So we're going to have some fun with that. So they're back there. Hopefully they didn't hear that, right? And so it's going to be a great night. I also want to say welcome also to all of our former Sing Cadets and our former Women's Chorus members for being here tonight. It's good to have you with us. And yes, you're going to get to sing with us at the end. And we're looking forward to that. We are very privileged to have two wonderful accompanists at Texas A&M University. The weird thing about this is that both of them share a common birthday. Both of them were born on Christmas Day. Both of them were December 25th. And both of them have also gotten engaged in the last 6 months, but not to each other. We're very blessed. Who normally plays the piano for women's chorus, and you will see her for the most of the evening with the women's chorus, is Miss Michelle Lassiter. And our accompanist who normally accompanies the Sing Cadets is Mr. Bryce Reed. But on this piece, we wanted to use flute as well, and so this is a song, it's entitled My Shepherd Will Supply My Need, and it featured Bryce at the piano and Michelle on flute. You'll see kind of a common theme in some of our music. Of course, that's a setting of the 23rd song. And so the next one is a great piece, and kind of in that same realm of thinking is that you do not walk alone. One of the things that we are very, very mindful of is our presence and our support for each other, and also our Heavenly Father who walks with us. This is, you do not walk alone.
See,
When we were driving out of town today, I was just kind of marveled at the beautiful, beautiful day that we all had. And I love this time of year. It actually makes us who live in this part of Texas actually think about, hey, it's worth living here. Now you might want to revisit with me in August, but nature teaches us so much, and we can learn so much about our Creator. We can learn so many things, and that's what this next piece is about, is when the earth stands still. Thank you very much. Our next piece is actually a piece by William Shakespeare, and it features our wonderful ensemble. We have an ensemble from within Women's Chorus. It's called One Accord, and this is a William Shakespeare text that's set to a word swingle swing piece entitled, "It Was a Lover and His Lass." Ladies. jokingly said to other parents of children when I really met an outstanding young lady whenever we talked about my son, or a young man who related to one of my daughters. I would say jokingly, I believe in arranged marriage. And because I just like them so much, or I like the parents so much, or whatever it may be. Well, the next song is about an arranged marriage. And it's in French. I want to say a very special thank you to J.C. Blair, who helped coach us in French. Anybody here speak French? If you did, we're going to make you leave. So, can you imagine a father walking into his daughter and saying, I've arranged for you to be married? Well, she's excited about it. But guess what? He arranged for the marriage to be to an old man that she doesn't like. And she initially thinks, well, what do I do? And then she says, ain't gonna happen. You'll get that from this piece.
Take
last year and said, Mr. Kemp, we never do sea shanties, and we would like to do sea shanties. So I said, well, tell you what, you put a group together, and we'll let you just rehearse on your own. Anybody can begin it. So this is a great group that we call the Salty Dogs.
Come all you young fellows who follow the sea.
To me.
Way, hey, blow the man down. And pray pay attention and listen to me.
Give me some time to blow the man down.
I'm a deep water sailor just in from Hong Kong.
To me. Way, hey, blow the man down.
If you buy me a drink, then I'll sing you a song.
Give me some time to blow the man down. Blow the man down, police, blow the man down. Way, hey, blow the man down. Blow him right back into Liverpool town. Give me some time to blow the man down.
Tinkers and tailors and soldiers and all.
To me. Way, hey, blow the man down.
They all ship for sailors aboard Keller's Hall.
Give me some time to blow the man down.
See all those poor tea-sips, how they will all eat.
Way, hey, blow the man down.
Still are on my ESCC boot.
Give me some time to blow the man down. Blow the man down, please blow the man down. Way, hey, blow the man down. Blow him right back into Liverpool town. Give me some time to blow the man down.
It's starboard and larboard, on deck they will sprawl.
Way, hey, blow the man down.
Board kicking captain, he'll command Keller's Hall.
Give me some time to blow the man down.
Lay aft all ye lubbernuts, lay aft now I say.
Way, hey, blow the man down.
There's no 2%ers on my ship today.
Give me some time to blow the man down. Blow the man down, police, blow the man down. Way, hey, blow the man down. Blow him right back into Liverpool town. Give me some time to blow the man down.
I give you fair warning before we belay.
Way, hey, blow the man down.
Don't ever take heed of what salty dogs say.
Give me some time to blow the man down. Blow the man down, police, blow the man down. Way, hey, blow the man down. Blow him right back to Liverpool town. Give me some time to blow the man down.
We didn't know how long that was going to take, so I said, have one ready, possibly two. So, we're very glad to be here with you. Thank you so much. Like Mrs. Reed said, it was about a month ago, and we get a call from Cleveland, Texas, that they weren't going to be able to host us. And so I walked into rehearsal and said, guys, need to let you know that Cleveland has fallen through, and they were worried at that point about COVID. And Clayton Reed said, don't worry, I got this. Came back 10 minutes later, and he said, told you, all set. And so we're very glad to be here once again with you this evening. We're going to start with, as part of the Sing Cadet set, a piece that has been done for the Sing Cadets for almost a century now. It's a very dramatic piece entitled The Creation.
Be
We had a very unfortunate thing happen a couple of years ago when one of our senior cadets lost his battle with depression and took his own life. And it greatly affected all of us. And of course, we always ask the questions, what could we have done? And so some of the things that we did, we started a scholarship fund in his name that will be presented for the very first time on April 10th at our spring banquet, which we're excited about. And then the second thing that we did, among many things, was to commission a piece. And this piece is very meaningful because the title of the piece is What If I Could Tell You? If we have just 5 more minutes with Roel and we had the opportunity to sit down with him and just tell him some things that we wanted to say, what would we say? And then maybe more importantly, the challenge that if we would have said that to Roel, why aren't we saying that to each other every single day? And that's the really thing. This is What If I Could Tell You. Features 2 great soloists, Mr. Ryan Oaktie and Mr. Jacob Schwarzenberg.
What if I could tell you, no one has to walk alone. You can choose another pathway, one that feels like home. And what if I could tell you, this is not your cross to bear, not your grief to hold, not your curse to wear. What if I could show you how to lay your burdens down, how to dive into the deep, how to swim but never drown? So shine your light and sing the songs you could not sing before. Till you're safe on heaven's shore.
Normally I do an introduction and they're going, wait, you didn't talk. Sometimes it's hard finding music for guys groups to sing, but what helps us is when we find music that's actually sung by guys, and we enjoy this next piece. Hopefully you will as well. Feel free to sing along. I found out today, sitting at dinner tonight with Mr. Reed, the number one selling album of all time in the history of the world. What was the group that made that album? Anybody want to take a guess? Beach Boys. It's in your program. That's cheating. All right, that's good to go. This is the Beach Boys. We feature our boy soprano on this, Mr. Alexander Ashoni.
Hey,
We'll take a moment to introduce the folks that help us out in our band. Over here on bass guitar, Mr. Daniel Morrison. On rhythm guitar, your hometown boy, Mr. Clayton Reed. And on our pots and pans over here, the heartthrob of the Sing Cadets, Mr. Reese Lestrade. I try to make him blush every concert, so usually I'm successful. The next song we sing has quite a storied history with the Sing Cadets as well. It was actually sung on the Ed Sullivan Show. If you're younger than me, you probably say, who? And these guys have absolutely no clue. But it's a setting of a John Donne poem, and it means a lot to us as Sing Cadets because it embodies how we feel as Sing Cadets, how we feel as Texas Aggies. No man is an island, no man stands alone. Each man as my brother, each man as my friend. And if ever there's a time in the world for us to think about that, now's a great time for us to consider that. Features our soloist on this piece, the same person who plays our pots and pans, Mr. Reese Lestrade. We're going to sing a few more songs, then give you a time of intermission. Would like to tell you that during this intermission, we do have a sales table. I think it's this. Is this right? Help me, Brandon. This direction? Yeah, this direction. Brandon's our business manager. He will see you at the sales table, either at intermission or after the show, out this direction. I want to point out several things. Texas A&M was founded in 1876. The Sing Cadets were founded in 1893. I'll tell you a little bit about that history in the second half. Well, we celebrated our 125th anniversary of the Sing Cadets several years ago. And so we said, let's have 125 Sing Cadets on stage sing. Well, it started coming in really quick, so we said, let's up that goal to 250. So let's up that goal and have twice as many as the years we have. Well, that started sailing in too. By the time we got there to our program, we had almost 400 Sing Cadets on stage for our 125th reunion. So what we did was several things. We made a CD, started in 1950 and goes through 2018. And every 3 or 4 years, we put one of the Sing Cadet songs on so that hopefully everybody that came to the reunion kind of had this chronology of the Texas A&M Sing Cadets on this CD. That's available back there. That's the black version. And then the gold one, you can't do a concert like that and not record it and make it a part of history. And so this is a recording of that actual concert of the 400 people on stage. The first half, this actually has 2 CDs in it. You can't see it, but it has 2 CDs in it. The first CD is of the actual group of Sing Cadets, the current group. And then the second CD is our reunion choir as they came and we sang back with a picture of almost 400 guys there on stage together. And then we were very privileged to have both George and Barbara Bush as honorary Sing Cadets and humbled and honored to welcome them home to the Aggie Land for their last visit and to sing for their memorial services there on our campus. And so we did a commemorative CD for George Bush, 41, and you'll see us there in front of the train station in the pouring down rain as we welcome President Bush home one more time. And then we have 6 core values of Texas A&M. And those core values are respect, excellence, leadership, loyalty, integrity, and selfless service. And we did a CD based around those core values. I happen to have this one, it's entitled Integrity, but we've got all the core values back there. And then we decided, well, if we're gonna do all those, then let's put them all together in one box set. And so, if any of you have a trip planned to Canada anytime in the near future, you can put these on, and when you finish the 6th CD, you'll be somewhere around Toronto. And so all that's back there. And so we always make what we call our Aggie special. If you buy any 3 recordings of any kind, we're going to give you the for free. So ask them about the Aggie special, and they'll take care of you on that. Also, nothing happens at Texas A&M unless you have a T-shirt. That's just a part of it. So we had to have a T-shirt for this commemorative Sing Cadets and Women's Chorus tour, and so we've got a Sing Cadets Women's Chorus combined concert tour T-shirt that's a collector's edition already. And so, and if you will buy before midnight tonight, no, just kidding. That's available as well out there. In fact, we're going to go to the Buffalo Bio area tomorrow and do the Cistern and tomorrow, and they'll all be wearing their tour T-shirts. So if you're looking for something between 11 and about 3, you want to hang out with some Aggies, well, come on down to the Cistern and join us. We're going to have a good time. And so anyway, all those recordings are back there for you, as well as the T-shirts and everything. So thank you for being here. We do a lot of different types of music. Our most famous music and our most requested music is always our patriotic music. And we love singing about our nation. And we could do an entire concert of just patriotic music. And we make sure all these guys learn all of our patriotic songs. So that way when we come back for those reunions, that we can just have these great sing-alongs and sing these great patriotic pieces together. We don't do all of them in every concert. And one of them that we happen to not be doing tonight is a song where we do this different service songs and have those who have served in our armed services stand so that we might recognize them. But we never want to miss an opportunity to say thank you to our veterans and those who are currently serving, because we know that all these freedoms that we enjoy of to stand here at the microphone, to sing what we want, to go on Sunday morning to the church of our choice or choose not to and just stay home. We have all those freedoms because people in this very room stood in my place defending those very freedoms that maybe sometimes I take for granted. And so we want to recognize our veterans and those who are currently serving or have served in one of our auxiliary services. Would you stand and let us say a very special thank you to you this evening? But there's a group of people who could not be here tonight. There's a group of people who could not stand because those people gave the last full measure of devotion for you and for me. And it's to them that we pay tribute through this next piece. We'll see y'all in about 15 minutes.
shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and me true love were ever wont to gaze, on the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond. The wee birdies sing and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters lie sleeping. But the broken heart will ken a second spring again, and the world knows not how we are grieving.
industrial engineering major from right here in West University, Texas. And most importantly, I am the loudest and the proudest member of the Fighting Texas Aggie class of 2022. Hey! Woo! And I have the honor and privilege of serving as the president of the Texas A&M Singing Cadets this year. Now, before we continue, I'd like to take a brief moment to introduce some of the guys. First of all, our hometown boys from right here in the West U, Braze Heights area. First up is Mr. Aiden Hill. And as well, Mr. Brian Swanson. And I can't forget Mr. Jacob Martin. Along with them is our 2021-2022 Officer Corps. These guys do a lot more for this organization than I ever could alone. Paul is our business manager. He's the money man for the group. He's a junior biology major from McKinney, Texas, Mr. Brandon Lang. After that's our tour manager. He got us here mostly in one piece today. He is a junior civil engineering major from College Station, Texas, Mr. Isaac Harris. After that is our PR manager. He is a junior physics major from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, Mr. Jordan Bass. And last, and certainly the least, is our vice president. He's a bovine proctology major from Fredericksburg, Texas, Mr. David Wilkinson. And finally, as is my most solemn duty as president, I have to tell y'all an Aggie joke. Tradition is that these are pretty mediocre, and I intend to uphold that tradition, so just bear with me. So, an Aggie has lived a long life, but unfortunately he wasn't the best guy, and so after his death he's sent down to hell. And on his first day in hell, the Aggie meets the devil with his big long horns. And the devil knows what to do with this Aggie, so he takes him and puts him in the hottest place he can find and leaves him there overnight. He comes back the next morning, and to his surprise, the Aggie has a grin on his face. The devil says, "Well, what are you so darn happy about?" And he says, "Well, it ain't worse than a hot day in Houston." All right, says the devil, and he thinks for a minute, and he has an idea. "I know just what to do with this Aggie." So he takes him and puts him in the coldest, darkest place he can find. And he leaves him there overnight. He comes back the next morning, and this time the Aggie's jumping for joy. And the devil says, "Now what are you so darn happy about?" And the Aggie just smiles and says, "Well, if it's freezing here, the Aggies must be the national champions." I promise, as you can tell, we are a lot better at singing than I am at telling jokes. And to continue to help us with that, in his 27th year with the Singing Cadets, Mr. David Kidd.
Once in a while, please promise me you'll try. And when you find that once again you long to take your heart back and be free, if you ever find a moment, spare a thought for me.
Think of we waking silent and resigned.
That's Mr. Aiden Hill as soloist. Aiden. And then you didn't get a chance to recognize, but singing from the balcony a moment ago, Mr. Paul Day. Mr. Jared Day. Sorry about that. His dad's back there, Paul. Mr. Jared Day. So he had to laugh. Paul Day is sitting right there in the middle section, who happens to be his father, who's a former Cadet and president of our Association of Former Cadets. So you got credit tonight. So there you go. We have a great group of guys that love barbershop quartet music, and it's my privilege to present to you this evening the Agonizers.
Howdy. As Mr. Gibb said, my name is Aiden Hill. I'm very blessed to be the lead of the Agonizers this year. And I think for the first time in all of our spring tours this year, we actually have all 4 regular members of the Agonizers on stage. With that in mind, I'd like to take a second to introduce ourselves.
Where the singing cadets and the women's chorus can take a tour together. This next song we sing is our favorite, and we never want to miss an opportunity to sing it. We have another song tonight that we've never sang before, but
We have the great opportunity of traveling quite a bit. And as we do so, sometimes when we get outside the great state of Texas, people like to make fun of our accent a little bit. And so it used to hurt my feelings, but now when we get caught in that situation, we just teach them how to speak Texan, and we'd like to share that with you this evening. Actually, that's what we sounded like at the beginning of the semester. Well, I'd like to tell you a little bit about this group that you see behind me, the Texas A&M Cadets. We were founded in 1893 as the all-male glee club. Took our very first tour in 1903, so we've been touring a little over 100, almost 120 years now, and had a lot of great success along the way, but it was originally titled the All-Male Glee Club, and they thought that was kind of boring, so in 1939, they decided to rename this group, so they put it out to a naming competition across the Texas A&M student body, and the student body decided to call this group that all of a sudden was beginning to gain fame, the Texas A&M Cadets. They performed for the very first time under their new name, Texas A&M Cadets, on January 1st, 1940. And if you know your Fighting Texas Aggie trivia, they performed in the Sugar Bowl, and the Fighting Texas Aggies won the national championship. And we are currently waiting for our second invitation. And we're getting closer and closer, which is a great thing. A lot of great things happened over TV performances and national travel, international travel along the way. In the 1960s, a couple of great things happened that greatly affected the trajectory of the Cadets as well as Texas A&M University as a whole. The first would be that you could go to Texas A&M and not necessarily take a full-time military commission. And so we made that same decision at the same time. So as you look at this group behind me, some of these guys are in the Corps of Cadets and some are not. And if you look really closely at haircuts, you can figure out which ones are and which ones are not. We're open to any student by audition, just like our women's chorus is, and just like our Century Singers is. Anyone can audition for any of our choirs at Texas A&M. We're very fortunate to be in the new Music Activities Center, and if you've not been on the campus of Texas A&M and seen that, you need to come check out the new Music Activities Center. It houses not only the Cadets and women's chorus and Century Singers and choral activities, but also our university jazz bands, our university concert bands, our university orchestras, and of course the Fighting Texas Aggie Band. And so we all operate there together in the Music Activities Center. And so you need to come check it out if you've not been on campus and check it out. So that was the first thing that greatly affected us in the 1960s. The second thing was they invited the ladies to come to Texas A&M.
Something anyway. So we have a really interesting weather forecast for you today. So ladies, listen up. Please leave your umbrellas at home. Well, you'll see why in just a second, so just stay tuned.
Tonight for the first time, just about 10:30, for the first time in history, it's gonna start raining men. It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men.
They didn't know about that one. You know, and now we have 72,000 students, and about 50% men and about 50% women, and so a great thing at Texas A&M University to have so many students. So a lot of great things have happened with the Cadets, and we've had a number of performances. Now we tour every third year internationally. On the years 1 and 2, we do national tours, and so.
From our skipper.
Thank you very much. A lot of fun. And we have a great time together in choral activities with all of our choirs and the times that we get to be together. Sometimes things happen, as I explained with Roel. Another one of those things where, it's that day, where you were when Kennedy was shot. The other time in my lifetime, 2 more times, on 9/11, when we found out, and when that Texas Aggie bonfire fell. And getting that call early in the morning to try to take accounting of all of our students and get in touch with all of our students and tell them, call your home and let them know that you're okay, and just never knowing what was going to come. And so just a lot of reaction to that. And then that night we had a service at Reed Arena for the student body. It was attended by our governor at that time, Rick Perry, and President Bush, and many honorary dignitaries who came to express their concern and their care. And the Cadets happened to sing for the service that night. And we finished the service, and it was quiet, and it was just a moment of silence and a moment of reflection. And somewhere from the rafter in the 3rd deck of Reed Arena, you heard, Amazing Grace. And ever since then, it's been such a special song for us. We sing it every year collectively with women's chorus, Cadets, and century singers as a part of Mustard. We'd like to share that with you this evening.
Amazing
in 1979, so that makes them 43 years old, so we're already aiming for their, you can, aiming for their 50th anniversary here in just a few years. They are blessed to have a wonderful formers organization, the Association of Former Women's Chorus, and we're going to invite any of our former women's chorus members to join them on the sides, and we're going to sing our signature song together. So, former women's chorus, come forward. Are you leaving or joining? Cadets to join us for our final piece tonight. Enjoy all the riders here. This is Jerry Day. I mean, that's not Jerry Day. Oh, talk about fair play. All right. Chris, okay, so now here's the funny story. Chris was our first of a family that has five brothers, but four of them are going to be singing cadets. He's going up to stand by his brother. What class are you, Chris?
2015, sir.
He's 2015, he started in 2011. And so that's his brother to his right, your left. Also happens to be my daughter's fiance. Then they have one between them, and then they have one more that's coming next year, who, if he stays for 4 years, will have 17 years in a row of that one family. Our final song Sure, y'all come on. Good to have an Aggie pastor, good to have a Cadet pastor, and great to have the Eastern Aggie moms. And so, thank y'all so much for hosting us here on such short notice. And thank you for those of you who are coming. I will tell you this too. The Cadets are the only organization at Texas A&M that they still allow to stay in host homes. Everyone else, like women's sports tonight, we go to a hotel, they don't mind that at all. But a part of our mission and a part of our purpose is going into your homes and spreading the great news of the things that are going on at Texas A&M University. And it's great to hear these beautiful ladies, and it's great to hear these wonderful men sing. But I can't wait for them to be in your home this evening because they're just absolutely amazing men, and you're going to enjoy them being in your home this evening. We had a situation a couple years ago where a guy came from Dallas, and his wife had signed up to keep 4 cadets, but their car couldn't hold that many, and so he had to go to a choir concert. And he wrote a letter to the president's office. Usually that's not a good thing. But what he said in that letter was, my wife signed up to keep 4 cadets, and I'll be honest with you, I just thought America was going to hell in a handbasket. And he said, I came to this concert, I heard those young men sing, and I heard, then they came into our home, and after hearing them sing and having them in our home, I now have hope for America. And what a great thing, and what a spark of positivity in this world that we need. And I'm so proud to present to you tonight the Texas A&M Women's Chorus and the Texas A&M Cadets to your community this evening. So thank you so much. Song tonight is our wish and our prayer for you. It's our wish and our prayer for the people of Ukraine. It's our wish and our prayer for all the people of the world. May the Lord bless you and may you keep you. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I want you to meet some of these wonderful young ladies. The guys are going to have a chance to go into your host homes, but I want you to meet some of these young ladies. Some of the ones across the front, down the center aisle. just take just a moment and meet some of these wonderful students on your way out. Thank you, Houston Aggie moms. Thank you, St. Andrews, for letting us be here this evening.